With less than 100 days to go until the election, former President Donald Trump is making headlines tonight after speaking at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in downtown Chicago. Protesters gathered outside as former President Donald Trump took the stage.
Inside, the former president sat with a panel of 3 journalists who asked him a range of questions from January 6th to challenger Vice President Kamala Harris. 10 Investigates' Emerald Morrow is attending this 5-day convention.
And Emerald, there's a lot of fallout after this appearance.
Yes, partly because there was concern over whether this was the right forum to host Mr. Trump. But there were also fears of hostility and misinformation during a very critical election cycle.
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
From inflation and public safety to education and diversity, former President Trump's comments stirred today's crowd.
I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody.
Speaking of jobs, the former president had a lot to say about the woman he's battling for the country's top spot.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Race was one of many topics, as was the recent killing of Sonia Massey, which happened south of Chicago in Springfield. Moderators challenged Mr. Trump on his push for police immunity.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. We need people to protect ourselves.
Mr. Trump also made claims about his push to save HBCUs.
Historically, black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it.
According to PolitiFact, he did sign the Future Act in 2019, which funneled federal dollars to the schools for years to come. But former President Obama extended the same funding under his administration. Scholars in the audience expressed concern about misinformation during today's speech, saying there should have been a more robust plan to combat misinformation.
I don't think you interview that person in public. There are all sorts of things like that that you do as contingencies to make sure that you're not allowing someone to amplify something that's actually not true.
Now, Vice President Kamala Harris was not at today's event, but NABJ says it does plan to host her for a conversation at a later date. Now, it has been the organization's practice to invite political candidates during election seasons, but they do make it clear that an invitation is not an endorsement. In downtown Chicago, Emerald Morrow, 10 Tampa Bay.
Tonight, the Harris campaign responded to the former president's comments, saying in part, today's tirade is simply a taste of the chaos and division that has been a hallmark of Trump's MAGA rallies. Vice President Kamala Harris addressed the comments just hours ago while speaking to a historically black sorority in Houston.
Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better.
Tonight, CBS News says Harris is expected to announce her running mate by Monday. The short list includes popular Democratic governors, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, and Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. The vice president plans to hit the road with her VP pick in several key battleground states next week, starting in Pennsylvania.